Hi guys, welcome to Tristen Movie Reviews. Today we'll be talking about another board game. This one is called The Grim Forest. Grim Forest is a game from 1 to 4 players about the 3 little pigs and grandchildren who are working in the modern real estate market. Let's get into it. First thing I want to mention about Grim Forest is how beautiful the artwork of the game is. It is just absolutely astounding. I love the art and effects and everything that they use for it. The other thing I want to talk about is I'm a neat freak when it comes to my games. So I like every game to have something where every little piece goes into a specific place and every single piece has a specific area that it fits into. What we want to do is we want to take out the character icons. We have the building pieces. We have player boards, fable cards, friend cards, reference cards, and last but not least, the gather cards, which come into effect. Each piggy has their own little set. Now, there's also the locations, the first build tokens, and then there are all these other beautifully detailed miniatures in the box as well. So, now let's get into how to set it up. So first things first, each person picks which one of these boards that they want. So I'm gonna set up for a 4-player game today. So I'll deal out all the boards randomly. Then you put out the corresponding minis that go with each of the characters. The colors are orange, green, purple, and blue. The wolf will come into play later. The next thing you have to do, take the market card, field card, forest card, and brickyard card, and place those down in order of the numbers on the bottom right. Those are the locations that you go to during the gather phase. Next thing, put the first builder tokens at the corresponding locations. And that's how you set up for the locations. Next thing you have to do, get the supply bank out, put one on each side and uncover it. Give the first player token to the person that will be starting. And last but not least, deal out each color coordinated gather card to the piggy with that color. And the final step is to put out the friend cards and deal 1 player reference card to each player. As you can see here, this is the player reference card. These are all the steps that you go through for the first phase, and then this is all the steps you go through for the second phase. I'm going to give you a run through of how basic games go from this pig's perspective. Essentially, you take one of these cards and you select which house section you want to go to first. You also put one of the biggest number resource in each location and a one of each in the market. Now I'm going to give you a run through of this piggy's turn. So what I'm going to do is, first things first, I have to select a gather card. I'm going to go with the fields. Everyone else selects a gather card. and then they all reveal those at once. So the blue pig's going to the wood, the purple pig's going to the market, and the yellow pig's going to the market, but we already know that the green pig is going to the fields. So everyone moves their miniatures to where they've selected to go. Now I'll go over what happens when you have to split the resources in just 1 second. As for these two, the green pig gets his, the purple pig gets hers, and these two have to split their goods equally. So one takes one, the other takes the other, and then one gets left behind. Now this is the point where any fable cards or anything like that would come into play. Fable cards are just little events that happen throughout the game, like Dragon, for example, is an enemy card. You have to discard your resources and different things like that if that card gets played at a certain location that you're in. Friend cards are also very useful. Friend cards are little friends that you get along the way that give you benefits where you can steal from your opponents and different little things like that, or you can turn resources of one type into another. So, after all that happens, everyone takes their cards back. And then they move their miniatures back to their board. Now for this piggy's turn, I have 4 wood, which is enough to buy 2 house pieces, or 1 floor. So I'm going to trade my 4 wood in, take 2 wood back, and now I have my first wood floor. Place that on the map, and then you keep building up from there. For my second action, however, I'm going to choose the ability to draw 1 resource of my choice. I'm going to choose another wood. And that's a basic run through of how this game works. You keep going through and building up your houses until you have 1 house of each type. Friends and fables come into effects later, and that's more or less how the game runs. The Grim Forest is an absolutely phenomenal game for 1 to 4 players. It is really fun, and it takes a lot of both teamwork and working against each other to build your houses together. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I hope you guys try this game out. See you in the next one. Bye-bye. Please don't be dead, please don't be dead. Yeah.